last month and over the campaign, of course, of qualification, because they thoroughly deserve it. Win this 2019 edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. They've worked hard, they've battled hard, and they produced some compelling football. They've looked strong, they've looked focused, and they put together performances unlike many of the other teams competing here in Egypt. Disciplined, and they most definitely have been very committed to the cause. I must admit, it's heartbreaking for Senegal. They still continue their search, their quest to try and win this elusive trophy. And it really is difficult. And you can see that with all of the players, of course, that Aliou Cissé, who knows so well how difficult defeat is in a final. Mahrez is there with his Algerian teammates in there in seventh heaven. But it's, well, Ismaïla Sarr, of course, the 21-year-old who just, well, unleashes the waterworks, basically, with his coach, Aliou Cissé. It's difficult to digest, it's difficult to take. And when you hear Sadio Mane, the Liverpool Champions League winner, saying that he would exchange his medal of being the champion of Africa for the Champions League medal that he won in Europe with Liverpool earlier this year, then you understand just how much it means to an African nation to go all the way. Algeria, well,
number 23, اللاعب رقم 23 from Algeria,
well, it's the goalkeeper, Rais Mboli, gets the man of the match award.
اللاعب رقم 23 in Algeria, رئيس الملحي.
But this is just, it's all sinking in, isn't it? Look at these youngsters. Well, the goal scorer, you know, Bounedjah, the Al Sadd player, Qatar. Well, he is just, he's just living the dream, isn't he? It's a remarkable scenario, and the Algerians are celebrating it. It'll have to come a long way. And of course, we've got an extra round that's been thrown into the mix now with 24 teams in the competition. There's Mboli and his total man of the match award.
Man of the competition award. جائزة توتال لرجل البطولة. اللاعب رقم 22, player number 22, Algeria, Ismail Ben Nasser.
Well, that's Ismail Ben Nasser.
Un peu d'intimité, s'il vous plaît, un peu d'intimité.
It's just, it's a wonderful moment, isn't it? You know, and you see this every couple of years now, and we saw this with Cameroon, of course, and the Côte d'Ivoire back in 2015. Going all the way back, going all the way back to, you know, back in the 60s, of course, but it's more difficult, I think, now than it was before, but just because you've got more teams competing and the lots of great football. Slimani's one happy man. I think he's Belmadi's getting a bit of a lift up. They're giving it back to the supporters, this big contingent who've come all the way here. I know that in the 5th of July Stadium in Algiers, I think that they had 80,000 people watching the match on the big screens there for the semi-final win over Nigeria. 80,000, and that's just in the capital. Right across the country, everybody be watching it. Even, you know, in Kabylie up in the mountains, of course, home of JSK. Well, he's 43. He's not going to hurt himself with a little bit of a getting the bumps there, as we call him. But Jamel Belmadi is, well, surely going to be nominated as the top coach. Ismail Benasser is the total man of the player of the competition, of course. It's a just reward there for this young man, this tenacious midfielder. Played 2 matches for Arsenal. Didn't really fit into that team, and playing for Empoli, but he's already being serenaded by more clubs, of course. Empoli down to the Serie B, but the Al-born midfielder, top man in the group stage, now named as the man of the competition.